Hello everyone and welcome back to Let's Play Europa Universalis IV with Meiou and Taxes and me, Alfapiomega. So we are actually right now going to battle the Swedish uprising led by Oscar Bjelke in Småland. But I did a huge mistake. I forgot that I need to assign my king to my army. So let's hope that we can win this. Fortunately, they don't have that many good ratings. They got a huge boost to fire, but it doesn't really play any role so early in the game. So let's see how well we perform against them. We managed to beat them on the sea, so it would be a nice thing to beat them immediately in the first battle. So let's see. Oh hey, we get the Swedish, they call the Swedish there. So that means we're going to be much better off. Oh, we're actually coming on the 2nd of March. Come on, guys, don't give up. Oh, if your army is beaten, then all the better for us. Well, we'll see. Okay, did we come in time? We did! Okay. And now we have won the battle. So, the Swedes have lost 1,300 men and 344 cavalrymen, but Sverige lost 538 and 368 cavalrymen. They actually immediately retreated, it seems. So, let's unpause it. We can lay a siege to this city. We'll see if they stay there. And I wanted to show you certain things. We have finished 2 missions, Places to Worship, which will give us advisor cost lowered by 10%, and Protect Our Lands, which will lower the land maintenance modifier. Now I'm happy about that. I'm also going to introduce our heir. Where is that? Here. Which will give us a yearly prestige bonus, and it will increase our prestige by 5. It's going to cost a bit of gold and a bit of diplomatic power, but it's well worth it. Now, once we get the... Oh, actually, no, they're sieging it. Damn it. I was hoping that wouldn't happen. This is being sieged by Sverige. So let's move to Skåne and let them siege this on their own. How's our king doing? He's actually, I think he's a really good... Yeah, he has 1 siege pop. The Pope appoints a new archbishop. As the head of the Catholic Church, the Pope had the authority to appoint bishops and archbishops to their posts in most countries, even to the highest positions. The leader of the Danish Catholic Church has passed away, and His Holiness has appointed a new one for us. We must have faith that the Pope has chosen a good man to lead our church. Well, I don't have much hope. We're already over the land force limit, which gives us a penalty, but I'll suck it up. I've done a number of things. I've assigned my traders. We are collecting in the North Sea, and we're transferring from South and North Baltic. But honestly, the complete trade has been revamped in the Meiou, so we're gonna look into that a bit later on. For now, we just know that we have assigned them. And I did one more thing, and that is... what did I do? Oh yes, Where is it? Here, in decisions, I added the yearly centralization policy, which adds yearly centralization to 0.4. Now the centralization or autonomy in the game is also completely reworked. This is our capital in Småland. But the autonomy of your provinces has a different basis than it has in vanilla. Here, it depends on the communication distance. So the further from your capital, the more autonomy, but based on an actual communications. For example, here in the Borghanelm island, we have no port. We have only a small fishing port. So even though that it's in the distance far, well, it's as far as, for example, Ostjutland or Norrjutland, it's gonna have a higher penalty if our actual trade port or military port is lower. So we can improve it by building roads or building roads on land, but both are very expensive and for us right now are not very good. But it leads to a really interesting situation in which later on, oh no, our heir has died. Damn it, game. I was just wanting to say that, for example, if I had a really big port in our capital, I can build a really big port in one of the provinces, and then the game calculates it from here to here, and then the provinces around it depend. So basically, it's how fast the "oh crap, we need money" or something message gets to certain land. The game goes around and tries to figure out how well it works. It's pretty good, pretty neat system. So what do we do? In the arms of the Lord I find solace. Current heir will die and begin a cathedral in Laland. Where the hell is Laland? Here. Or in the arms of the maid I found solace. Oh, a noble of the Astrid family before Vikacoin becomes an heir. And he's pretty good. So let's do that. Our heir has died tragically, but we have a awesome heir, Harald. And we have a marriage, new queen consort, Christina. The son is named Arvid. The House of Galan. With the union of Valdemar IV, Atterda, and Christina, we have gained not only a spouse, but also a new ally in the realm. The Galan is an old and influential family, and their seat of Norsavik is a jewel of the kingdom. Of course, friendships has to go both ways, and Christina will be expected to speak for her kin, while our king will be expected to consider such advice very carefully. So we have a lowered local unrest, but lowered missionary strength and increased autonomy in our second richest province. Interesting. So will the Swedish forces come and, or the Sverige forces come and hurt the main army of Sweden? I'm interested. We'll see. We'll see. I need to put the king up on this army. Weak coin. That's gonna be very tricky. But he's very young. But he's really good as well, so I'll deal with that. One thing that has been completely reworked as well are the estates. Well, I'm gonna let the siege go on. Each estate has various options now, and their loyalty has different meanings. Now we're gonna ask our greater nobles for defensive war support, which would give us extra units, or we could have a noble war council, prestige from Landsman, or recover army morale speed. Nah, I'm gonna ask for partial military support, which will give us an extra unit, free unit. What about the lesser nobles? That could give me an extra other unit, or bolster defenses. So let's go with partial military support. Those are free if you're in a defensive war. And we're gonna ask the burghers for war relief, which is also free. Now this is a really neat mechanic for several reasons. If you have a country as big as England, the estates can raise an army even larger than the king has on its own. So sometimes the estates can really change the tide of war. So here we can see the units being trained for us as they're being raised. It seems like we might have won the war already, because we have the Norway army that has been hired by Sweden beating the Sverige army here. Now the Sverige ships, let's go pay them a visit. If we can sunk them, we could get additional war score. Now right now we outnumber Sverige massively, so I don't really think they have a chance in winning this war. but I'm gonna do my best to get, well, probably not gonna get Smallland, so let's try to get Scanner and the Blacking out of this. Too bad though. Smallland is less important than Scanner is for us, so. Okay, so we arrived just in time. 5 white ships, 2 galleys and 5 transports against 1 white ship and 3 transports. I think we have this pretty much in our hands. I would love if we could capture some ships. Nope. They have escaped into the Bothian Sea. So let's go. Actually, we can stay here and blockade these, can't we? Yeah. The blockade efficiency depends on your ship's capabilities, so... Oh, hey! They're blocking us, come on. I haven't allowed that. Okay, here's our extra forces. So I'm gonna send them to... oh, we can at least get there. Okay, I would really like it if the AI could liberate Smallland, but we probably can't do that. Never mind, then we'll see how it goes. Now, we do have some claims, however, which is actually really interesting. I think we have claims on Wolfgast. Yeah, we do. Where else? Wolfgast and these 2 Schleswig-Holstein provinces. Südschleswig and Nürnbergsund. Südschleswig is actually Danish, which is interesting. Skåne is also Danish, that's interesting. Do we have, oh yeah, we get the claim on Skåne and Blacking, so it would historically be, or game-like, be accurate for us to get these. You guys can unite and have the king with you. You can already go to Blacking. So the AI has finished sieging Smallland. You can see here that we now have the local wealth here as the thing I talked about, the loot that we can steal. Skåne itself doesn't have that much wealth, but will steal whatever we can from them. There's some urban population there and quite a lot of rural population there, so I think we'll be able to get our fair share out of them. Now, another important thing here is that each province has what is called farming efficiency. This is basically how much food or how much extra food your population produces. So if we, for example, have a farming efficiency of 23.6%, it means that basically each of these rural pops produce 0.23 extra food, which can feed the urban development. But the urban pops can buy the food from the European market. However, if a famine or anything like that happens, it is a big problem for the provinces that are depending on food imports. But part of the local wealth that the population has is invested into buildings automatically, so the estates or the population in the province can build their own buildings. And they also use it to increase the farming efficiency, which is the reason why it's very important to not have your provinces sacked. Because not only does it destroy the infrastructure and lowers the actual farming efficiency, but it also steals the money that the population would otherwise invest into making their provinces better. Hey, we finished the Siege of Skåne, so let's now go to Siege Blacking. Well, the Siege of Blacking is almost over, but I have noticed that the enemy from Sverige is going to attack the Swedish army in Uppland, so they might win this actually and force them back. So far, our war score is very good, and Sverige's war enthusiasm is very low. So I'm hoping that if they win this battle, they might stick around slightly longer, because I would really like to finish the siege and get them from Sverige. I noticed that currently, actually, we are very close to getting it. Yeah, if the ongoing battle goes somewhere else. Once it finishes, I think we'll be able to demand these 2 provinces and maybe even some gold. Hey, they actually won! Crap, I was not expecting that. Could we get that peace? No. Current peace offer 21, demands exceed war score. Yeah, that battle has screwed up our war score. Let's see if this sacking works. Manpower low happened to us. Oh, we're running dry on manpower. By the way, here you can see the loot pool. We have currently looted 47.32 gold from our enemies, and we already sent additional 11.1 gold back home. So our current, well, that would be 6 gold for me, and I think we get 1/10 out of that, or 1/5. Yeah, you can see we just finished another siege, and the loot pool has increased. So I have 2 options now. I can go and demand these 2 provinces, and they would accept that. Would they give me Åland? No. They give me smaller. No, I don't occupy, but they would give me this and a bit of gold. Do I want to stay in this or not? I have a hankering for sieging and getting Uppland, because that would give us additional resources. By the way, as the war is currently going, I'm going to mothball my forts because they're extra drain on my treasury. We don't need that. We have the high seas. We blockade all of their ships, and their army is much smaller. I think I'm actually going to go ahead and find them one more in the hopes that we can get some gold from them. Well, we're gonna encounter the enemy in the Västergotland. Our army, led by our king, Valdemar IV Atterdag, is attacking a much smaller army that is there, led by Oscar Bielke, which I believe is not their leader, is he? No, it's the Magnusson. They got a general for the fighting. So let's hope we can win this, because if we can, we'll get these provinces and a hefty gold to that. Okay, starting very good. Decent shock values happened. Okay, they're much better at the shooting part though. But it doesn't really play a big role now. Okay, we're literally destroying them. And we did. We gained extra war score. They want medium. They have medium more enthusiasm. I'm not entirely sure they will stick around in the war. We need to get what we want fast before they peace out. Why don't you war score current peace offer? And what do you give me Skåne? Something took the war score down. I'm not entirely sure what it is. Well, we'll try to siege Uppland. Maybe that will force them to yield. I found what the problem is. The AI is fighting over the capital, so the fact that they control Uppland is a complete drain on our war score, which diminishes it. So we really need to lay siege to the capital and take it. Let's just hope Sweden won't peace out. That would be a bitch. Yeah, right now we're missing about, well, 6 points of war score. Who is sieging this? Sweden is. Well, it's gonna increase our war score nonetheless, or I could do what I can do and just go and... oh no, let's continue the siege. On the 18th of December 1358, Uppland has been sieged and fallen. So we have now achieved a 50 war score. That means that the enemy will now cede us 2 provinces, Skåne and Bleking. However, they won't give us much more, only these 2 provinces and a bit of gold. I don't think we can get Åland. No, it claims that we exceed war score. I actually don't want this province. It's quite far away and it has nearly 0 population and it has 1 population. Same as Blacking though. Actually, we sieged Blacking so much we traumatized it. Damn. I'm actually also kind of mad because we were 1 day late to the siege of Uppland. And therefore all the loot has been given to Sweden and not to us. We could have gotten a really nice piece out of that. But I have achieved my war goal and I am a malevolent ruler. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to peace out of this and send my forces back home. So this is going to piss Sweden a lot. Yes, Sverige accepted our generous peace offer. So I give us its Skåne and Blacking to Denmark and they will pay us 4 gold. We got a bit of inflation and cost us 31 diplomatic power. But we gained 2.5 prestige. And we got minus 25 prestige because we signed a separate peace while having more than a minus 20 war score in the first 36 months of the war. Sweden will gain 6 power projection. Okay, but I'm fine with that, you know. There will be a really weird piece coming out of this war anyway. We don't want to have a separate marriage with Sverige. Now we return their levies. And here are the spoils of war. As peace settles once again, our armies bring forth the bounty from sacked cities and villages. 65.23 for 65.23 ducats in total. How much shall go to the state coffers? Taking too much will upset our estates, anger the soldiers, and possibly damage our stability. The extent of that anger and damage depends on how much you brought home relative to your country's gross domestic product. So we can take a 10th to the treasury, which will give us stability points. We can take a 5th to the treasury, which will give us a bit of unrest. Soldiers are mad and morale of armies is lowered, and we have a chance to lose stability. Or we go with 2/5 to the treasury and our court gets upgraded by gold. I'm going to explain that later. We're going to go with 1/10. For now, the war is over for us. Sweden requests a military access. I'm fine with that. And I'll end this episode here and I'll start the next one where I'm going to show you a bit more about how the stability works. And we're going to set our country on the long road that is ahead of us. So see you folks then.